Hi YouTube, Tim Unkert here. In this video, we're going to look at solving two-step equations that are of the form x divided by some integer plus or minus some number equals another number. So let's get to it, and let's take a look at this first one right here. So this first one, we're going to solve this equation, x over 5, or x divided by 5 minus 2 equals 8. Okay, so what I like to think of when we're doing these kinds of problems is we're reversing PEMDAS. So typically we would take care, following PEMDAS, we would do multiplication or division first and then addition or subtraction, but we're undoing it, so we're going in reverse. We're SAD mapping, so we're going to undo the subtraction or addition first and then undo the multiplication or division. So for instance, right here, we have this minus 2 here, and we're going to have to undo that. Okay, so how do we undo that? Well, we do the inverse operation where we add 2 to both sides. Okay, so let's just get rid of that, and let's add 2 to both sides. So I'm going to add 2 here, and we add 2 to both sides because what you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other side of the equation to keep both sides equivalent. Okay, so we're going to add 2 to both sides here. On this side, a minus 2 and a plus 2, well, they're going to cancel out. And so we'll be left on the left-hand side of the equation with x over 5. Let me do that a little bit better. So x over 5, and that's equal to 8 plus 2, which is 10. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to undo the division on the left-hand side because x is divided by 5. So the inverse operation of division is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 5. And the 5's on the left-hand side here will cancel. And we're left with x equals 10 times 5. Well, what is 10 times 5? 10 times 5 is 50. So in our first problem, x equals 50. Okay, now as we go through these, what I would suggest is that as we go through these, that you pause the video, you try out the problem, and then you see if you got it correct. So maybe pause the video now, try out the problem, and then come back. Okay. All right, so in this one, we've got negative x divided by 7 plus 9 equals negative 3. So we first have to undo the addition of 9, so we can do that by subtracting 9. So I'm going to subtract 9. And if I do that on the left-hand side, I have to do that to the right. Okay, so the left-hand side, plus 9 and the minus 9 will cancel. On the right-hand side, we've got negative 3 minus 9, or negative 3 plus a negative 9. So if we're adding two numbers of the same sign, what we can do is just add the numbers and keep the sign. So 3 plus 9 is 12, and both have a negative sign, so we have negative 12 on the right. On the left-hand side, we have negative x over 7. Now we can also think about this. If we have a negative here and a negative here, it's like negative 1 times x over 7 equal to negative 1 times 12. Now, since we have a negative 1 being multiplied by the values on both sides of the equation, we can simply cancel out the negative 1. So we can rewrite this as x over 7 equals 12. Okay. Now x is being divided by 7, so to undo that division, well, I'm going to multiply this side by 7. So 7 times this side, and I'll have to do that to this side as well. So 12 times 7. On the left-hand side, the 7s will cancel, okay? And then we're left with x equals 12 times 7, which is 84. Okay, so x equals 84 here. Okay, so that's the first two problems. Take a snapshot of this because I'm going to have to clear this stuff out, and then we'll look at the next two problems. Okay, let's look at the next two problems here. All right, so this first problem here, we have negative x over 8 plus 5 equals negative 3. So the first thing, we have to get rid of the addition of 5. So we're going to subtract 5 from the left-hand side. And what we do to the left, we have to do to the right. So we're going to subtract 5 from the right-hand side as well. Okay. The plus 5 and the minus 5 on the left-hand side will cancel. And we're left with a negative x over 8 equals negative 3. Again, we can think of this as negative 1 times x over 8 and negative 1 times 3. So I could just simply cross out the negatives here and just have this x over 8 equals 3. I'm going to multiply the left-hand side by 8. I have to do, to get rid of the division by 8, I have to do that to the right-hand side as well. So on the left-hand side, the 8s will cancel. We'll be left with x equals, well, 3 times 8, which is 24. So that's our solution to that one. X equals 24. Let's look at this last one. So we have x over 7 minus 9 equals negative 2. We want to get rid of the subtraction of 2 first. We're thinking SADMAP. So we're going to add 9 to both sides. And we get x over 7 equals negative 2 plus 9. So we're adding two numbers of different signs. So we have negative, let's do that up here, negative 2 plus 9. So to add numbers of different signs, we're going to take the number that is further away from 0 on the number line. So that's going to be 9. And we're going to subtract the number that is closer to 0 on the number line, which is 2. And we're going to keep the sign of the number that is further away from 0 on the number line. So we're going to keep a positive sign here. So we're really going to do 9 minus 2. That's going to give us 7. We're going to keep it as positive 7. Okay. Now we have x divided by 7 equals 7. So to get rid of the division of 7, we have to multiply both sides by 7. Okay. And the 7's on the left-hand side will cancel out. And we're left with x equals 7 times 7, which is 49. So x equals 49. And that's all there is to it. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. If it was, please like and subscribe. I'll also leave links to my teachers and teacher pay teacher stuff in the description, as well as my website. So please check that out. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.